gallant styling.
Madisa Madisa
I gotta transfer. Yeah. But to la mushimana la graduation party.
Oh, wow.
So it's kono yizu hure ke musatela dilo tse di bya.
Yeah. Currently I'm still in talks with a lady, as Mr. Makopo was talking about collaboration. I'm already in that collaboration with few people, the ones in food, photographers, and I'm currently working something up for the new ones that this lady, she's offering cooking classes, and the people wanted to also be they're interested in decor and balloons. So we're going to collaborate with that, and I'm offering skills. How I taught myself how to do balloons is like,
so you also want to teach other people.
Yes, so I normally share skills and all that. So the balloon gallant is, people would say, I need a birthday party, then I need a backdrop. So we would normally say, you need a backdrop for your birthday celebration, something that will be part of your photo shoot with the guest, something that will create a lovely and
atmosphere.
Yes,
right?
That's where we came up with learning how to do balloons. Then I had to share the skills with my team as well. And
I'll let you go in a bit. I'll take a very quick ad break after this question, because you just mentioned it now, and then I was going to go into it later on, but I'd rather take it, the issue of skills. Why do you find it important for Wayne to then share the skills that you have accumulated instead of then keeping to yourself? Like me, my passion is accumulating knowledge. Right? I like reading, getting a lot of information. Then when we sit, then we share, we separate. Why is it important for you?
The importance of sharing a skill is a manner of learning that I don't have to grow alone. I don't have to keep a lot of knowledge and things that I know somebody else is capable of doing. Why do I have to sit with that skill and like, no, I cannot. Then I decided, let me just put it out there, offer balloon styling classes. It's 101. Currently it's 1-on-1. People who are interested, mostly it's the fellow people in the same industry
as you
that wants to have those backdrop, and they like, I'm having an event so far, in case that you happen not to be available, because normally they would call me to do the balloons for them. Then in case you are not available, you're busy with your own events, then that's when I decided, no, let me rather share this skill, and obviously we pay.
Mr. Madisa, I think it's very important as well to share this, the skill for her. Remember, we always encourage people when they do their businesses, it shouldn't be just self-employment business. I mean, it's part of also building systems in your business. When you are not there, your business cannot run. So now it's very important how you duplicate yourself into people. You share the skill, you train them, you teach them, so that when you are not there, someone can be on the driving seat and make sure to run a business. Too, when you package your service, Mr. Madish, which is very important, you need to also sell what we call the convenience. Make sure, the reason why I spoke to the collaboration, but Papanche these days, they just want everything in one house. I would deal a photographer there, and then I would deal with someone or hire reach up this beautiful cars on his wedding. Then I would deal with someone who decor. Then I would deal with someone. But if you can collaborate and put them in one house, these days, Mr. Madish, I'm sorry, but I say a gas anyway. I get. Normally, when we are focusing on planning for our marriage, but I normally stress too much planning for the event, which is a wedding day. Or I want my wedding to be looking like this, but if you can sell that convenience and make sure everything is in one house, build the collaboration, almost everything, even if it includes videographers and everything. And that way it's going to give you business.
Sure. You know what? Let's take a very quick ad break. We'll come back to that. When we come back from that, I'll look into issues like collaboration and even community upliftment, but most importantly, challenges that you might have faced there and the resilience. And coming in from you then saying that you shouldn't keep knowledge to yourself. If you watch that popular SABC 1 show that used to start 6, now 7, Koko Manchare. How got information in Chicago? Ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes after the hour, 8 o'clock, you are still listening to TFM 96.2. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back after this.
TUTFM has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Independent Communication Authority of South Africa. Under the code, we are committed to giving you content that is fair, programming that is not harmful, and news that is accurate. If you think that we are not living up to the code, then you can lodge a complaint to the station manager. Direct complaints to mahapa.ek@tut.ac.za or call 012-382-9719. We will respond within 7 working days. If you are not satisfied with our response, then you can escalate your complaint to the Independent Communication Authority of South Africa. Direct your complaint via email to bmashego@icasa.org.za or via post to Independent Communication Authority of South Africa, 350 Witch Hazel Avenue, Eco Park Estate, Centurion, 0144. Or call 012-568-3000. TUTFM 96.2, amplifying voices, empowering lives.
All the hits, one station.
My heart goes la-dee-da-da-dee-da, la-dee-da-da-dee-da, la-dee-da-da-dee-da. My heart goes, yo, I read in a sober.
We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky.
Popping music, so you never miss a beat. TUTFM 96.2.
What's that about Ganbako? Come on!
You're locked on
The coolest station
in Pretoria.
cause we play this.
Yeah, that's us.
Like and follow us on Facebook at TUTFM 96.2. On Twitter and Instagram at TUTFM_962.
Add us to your favorite. Add us to your favorite. Add us to your favorite. And keep
Radio
on TUTFM.
That's my baby, that's my baby, that's my baby girl. That's my baby girl. My baby girl.
Yeah, this station's got soul.
The Groundbreakers. Mondays to Thursdays, 7 to 9 p.m. on TUTFM.
It is definitely 5 minutes after the hour, 8 o'clock. You are still listening to TUTFM 96.2, amplifying voices, empowering lives. And this is Kasi Entrepreneurship. Definitely live on Facebook, definitely live on YouTube. You can contact us if you have anything beautiful to say to Miss Beatrice. Maybe she came, did something beautiful for you, and you want to send in your thoughts, your comments. You can send in the number on 012-382-9257, 012-382-9257. Miss Beatrice, let's get into some of the challenges that you might have mentioned. I wrote down, where's my paper? Yeah, you mentioned that you are a mother of 2, yes. Right? And as an entrepreneur, we definitely have to think that it on its own comes with a lot of challenges. What has been some of your biggest challenges in terms of building this particular sustainable business, and how did you push through that? How did you navigate that particular challenge?
Sure. I will start by saying, all the challenges, I'm glad that we're facing challenges, not problems, because the minute you see a problem, you see a huge wall in front of you that you cannot even get to the other side. So with challenges, I particularly managed to learn to understand that I'm so grounded, spiritually so, that with everything that I do, I need to present everything to God. So this business, particularly Bila was supposed to mention from the beginning, it's God's business. Why am I saying that? Because there'll be times whereby I used to ask God, how am I supposed to round about and handle this business? Then I had to say, for now, let me just say, even if you give me 2 events in a month, I'll be good.
Sure.
Whether I have events or not, I'll still be fine. That's when I realized the power of prayer. Then as time goes on, there were times whereby it was so silent. Our industry is so saturated. So not everyone as well is our client. I have my clientele, others have their own clientele. And I've learned to distinguish that and accept the fact that even if you can come to me as Polelo, Mr. Madisa, and say, I need a quotation for a wedding, has to be in a venue for 100 guests, then I give you the quote. And then you come back and say, that was too steep for me. Then I will say, what was your budget? Then you will mention your budget. I have to check based on your budget, is it sufficient for the look and the output that we have to give to you? If I see that it's insufficient, I will say, no, unfortunately, this is insufficient. We cannot. And I won't even cry if you happen to say, we found another supplier. Because I'm grounded upon, Lord, even if it's 2 events in a month, I'm good.
It continues fine.
Yes. And that's where I've realized as time goes on, then came COVID.
COVID-19.
So with COVID, COVID really made us stronger, to be honest, because now we can be able to plan ahead, to plan on things that we don't even know of. At least you know that as long as I can manage this part of my life here, then I'll be able to understand other sides that will be growing out from that particular point. COVID came, people already booked. Myself, I already had a booking because it was my birthday, because remember, hard lockdown happened on the 26th
of March.
My birthday was on the 29th. And I had an event that I was supposed to pull through on the 29th. Then hard lockdown, and I was like, I need to approach the client and say, now what are we supposed to do? I was willing to refund. I was willing to refund, and then the client said, no, this thing will go away. So as time, we will then do another celebration and rather keep that. I'm like, you know. So I had to learn as well how to manage our finances, you know, and you pray about it. Lord, make me a good steward of my finances so that you don't end up spending unnecessary, whereby it takes me to a point where now the issue of me being a mom, that me also starting this business was because of them, so that I know even if it's a legacy for them, but they have no interest in growing with the business, but at least they know Mama had 1, 2, 3. Mama fought to 1, 2, 3, so that tomorrow our future is brighter. So in essence was a manner of, not every challenge will break us. Yes, it will just bend you, prune you, shape you, and then you become better. Then now you realize, okay, now I'm here, it's 2025, and the business is so quiet, because normally when I start about March, returning to the winter season, it becomes quiet.
Very dry.
And then we start stressing, hey, rent, storage, and then you have those cases whereby we are even unable to pay for the storage. Now logo storage, they're gonna auction my things, and now they don't know the worth of your equipment. So it's a matter of, now, where do you want to see yourself? How do you want to grow it to be better? So you have to make all those sharp changes that are also reasonable and that are doable as well.
So
I
want to pick Mr. Makopo's brain on a particular point you mentioned there. And I like the fact that you say the winter season is dry, and then you said that the industry is saturated, right? So go le naketla mungatse na fao ya naketla la ba dikoma ke winter season is dry, dikoma di atla ka se ka mari.
No, hardly Limpopo renyala every weekend. Every street sinele manyalo itu.
Plus weekend song puluki.
Mr. Makopo, coming in from what as Beatrice said, right, that the sector, that the business side of it is saturated, but we don't see male figures. I'm not sure if they are there yet. I'm not sure. Maybe they are. I haven't seen them, but I then see a lot of women.
We struggle for male entrepreneurs.
Right?
For a very long time, every time when you invite them to the studio, they will give you so many reasons. Some they will say, no, it's fine. But now at the later stage, then it's only women entrepreneurs by Longore. They always show up and come and share their insights and their challenges here
That's why I want to take you on that point of gender inclusivity to then say, we always speak about women and all of that, but it's women who are showing up. So it brings in us a question that say, but what kind of uniqueness do then women bring to the township economy if we are then seeing them but push so much than Majid?
Yeah. Like, remember I came with a statistic before, Karim. As much as our township economy worth over 900 billion.
Yeah.
But now, most of the township economy, it's so informal in nature.
Yeah.
And without being informal, Mr. Madisa, majority, around 52% of the entire township economy, most are women-owned businesses.
Yeah.
Because kidi hair salons, quite a lot of things. Yeah. But now she said something about it in her industry, but it's something that I want to
extrapolate on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Marisha, she started way back in 2015. I started way back in 2015. Her business is decade old.
Yeah.
Survived everything. And also COVID-19. There are a lot of businesses that are just the ashes, and they couldn't even rise up from being just the ashes of COVID-19 when the economy was closed. Now, most businesses, they closed down during COVID-19. Some, even these big ones, Mr. Marisha, we did not know on their balance sheet, they've got only maybe a few cents to survive them in the next 21 days. Some, when the president was making an announcement that national decree or we are going into a lockdown and then the economy will be closed, already they were already announcing their closure. So now her business demonstrated a resilience.
Sure.
Quite a very important thing to do. To build a business will be able to demonstrate resilience even when it's dry season. Because now she says come winter, now sometimes it becomes very dry. I get it.
Yeah.
I think it becomes very dry if you only confine your business within the spaces, this informal sector.
Yeah.
Corporates, they still do the wellness functions for their employees. There are quite a lot of things going on. Maybe she needs to now change. Maybe she define her niche market within maybe a specific, but she said she did also where she was working a corporate event. I think my encouragement to her is also to look if she can also accommodate other sectors, because now I don't believe it's oversaturated. It can be saturated but not oversaturated. It depends on how you package your services.
I want to take you on the point you mentioned, resilience and funds, right? To then say a lot of entrepreneurs, they often complain about funds as one of the biggest challenges. When you started the business in 2015, were any support coming from external support, or you had to then bootstrap yourself into it? If I get a client, was there someone who then said, you know what, I like this particular concept, and I think it so were there such people, or you bootstrapped yourself into the growth?
On that note, on that note, I didn't have any sponsor. I didn't have any. Concha, what's the term that we use when you need to start a business?
Funding, capital.
I didn't have that.
Yeah.
My mentor then said to me, because I have all the equipments that you need for the events business.
Yeah.
There's no need for you to have a capital to start one. So just quote based on my price list, because a chair is this much, a table is this much, a spoon, a glass, and an end. So I was never sponsored or funded. It was a manner of, even on my salary, I had to forever put away 1,000, just a standby, so that whenever with my team, because we really worked almost 6 months, whereby I was not even saying thank you to my team, whereby because at first we agreed, but but the better thing about it is that the minute you quoted or send the invoice to a client, they paid with everything that you didn't have and others had, you rent it out. So outsourcing is the most part in most of our decor business to outsource certain equipment. Some you can buy yourself with that profit that was supposed to be yours.
But does it make any economic sense to actually outsource? Instead, like what is the viable model between like outsourcing and owning the equipment? Because
that is why I was using the word that it's saturated. Because what happens is that the equipments, they come in and go out quick. So we did. Some people like me, I would say, no, I don't want to buy chairs. There's this type of chairs that are here now. So remember, at first, the first chairs that was so popular was Tiffany chairs. Then they were kicked out by Phoenix chairs. Kicked out, then just like that.
So now you're saying owning them. It's not that viable then.
It is viable if your concentration is based on rental. You don't want to be part of doing the whole conception, planning and everything else.
You only rent them out.
Yes.
To buy longer, they offer those services.
So it's that you have the equipments, I come to you, I rent out, I'm going to do a full planning and coordinating of the thingy. Once we're done, we do that. So with us, we're like, because the tulo tse di antshana and insana a lot tables and whatnot. We cannot keep up, because based on the fact that when I mentioned the issue of saturation is that because rebangata, and then the nice thing and the best advantage about people that owns equipment is that you have that flexibility about your pricing. So you can be cheaper, and then comes me. You rent the chairs with 70 rents, and I say it's 90 rent to a client because I need to get at least 10 rand, So they are gaining, but mostly people that own, they don't. It's like most of them are already collaborating with big companies, so they can offer 200, 300 chairs and all
at a go.
Yes, at a go.
And they have that capacity to actually, because of their relationships with this, their association with these other big companies. Now it gives them that capacity to be able to help you as well.
Exactly. So
can you see, Mr. Madisa, what we spoke about? I'm sorry just to come in there. This is what we always say, and I always we need to debunk this pernicious myth or you need capital to start. You don't necessarily need one. One of our guests said the same thing. The only thing is now to start, you can start anytime. How she started, and she's using other people, they outsource, whatever. The only problem is when she does not now reinvest that money into the business to grow it, because the only phase where you will need more capital, it's when you want to get it off the ground and grow it more from where it is.
True and valid point. And I wanted to take you on a point that you mentioned there. I think it would be very, for me, this is me, right? My own sentiments to that I would find it very stupid and weird. Not to say stupid, but let me say weird. For you to own something that you know is outdated. Come on, skinny G. 2017, the color blocking, the military, the chair, the Tiffany chest at 200. Next 5 years, who does something so elegant once again?
Now I've got a very different view.
Right, but looking at time, I want to move on a very point. We will come back and state that. I was reading that you mentioned that you worked around outside even Gauteng. You spend. How do you see that expansion shaping your business? Being able to go, Mr. Makopo said, come to Limpopo, they get married every particular weekend. So when you travel into such to those provinces, that's expansion. How do you see it shaping your business?
And my first outside of Gauteng event was in Limpopo.
Oh, well, sure.
Jana first.
Yeah.
Jana first.
Sure.
And funny enough is that the lady that asked me to come there, I only went there to do a backdrop. That's when the word backdrop started coming in, and I was at a point whereby people were calling me a backdrop guru because I would see an idea on Pinterest. I'll be the one. Like I'm the one who has developed that backdrop already, advertising and all that. So that this lady says, I'm having a wedding for my reception. The hall is just plain, sorry. The hall is just plain. I need something to enhance the matrimonial. We had to drive from Pretoria to Genfest just only for a backdrop, a mere backdrop, whereby you just put the name and the flowers and everything. And by then, the popular flowers that she specifically needed was a paper flower. So we had to drive there and do the setup. And the lovely part about working without limits or boundaries is that you manage to also learn more about the people that are in the same industry as you at the other provinces, because there were most people. The lady that was doing the actual decor there was like, what is this? How did you make this thing? And something like that. So I had to explain to her what is the backdrop, what is its purpose, and everything else. And she says, I need to buy it from you. I used to have that time whereby I used to make backdrops and sell to other events planners that were outside, even Botswana and Namibia, to a point whereby I said, no, let me rather share a skill, because sometimes financially it won't make sense. I charge you for 2.5 for a specific backdrop. You want me to deliver it in Botswana. So the costing
does not make.
Yes. Then I would just say to a person, buy this cheap board or buy this whatever board, do this, buy this, do that. You know, I would share information that how you can also come up with something like that. And the fact that you come with people in the rural areas or in Limpopo, for example, then you'll find that they're still using plastic chairs with chair covers. They still like they are. That's
where I wanted to come.
Yes. Then their decor is still that old standard way. Then you being in an environment like that, basically, because now your eye is seeing in a different way. And a person then asks you, so how would you have set up this? Now I would even jump in and help other decor people to do their setup instead of you putting, because there used to be this thing whereby people will put a glass upside down. And I'm like, why? Then they say for dust. I'm like, no, for you to have a nice and elegant table scape that is appealing, that is nice, everything must be proper according. You don't need to put even your forks and spoons upside down. No. Why are we not putting the plate upside down? You see. So I would jump in and assist.
Already plated, John. They don't gather dust. It's only.
It's only the classes.
You know what? Definitely, I get your sentiments, and it's an unfortunate that we're running flat out of time. Definitely have only a minute left there, but I'll take this 30 seconds if possible and split it between you to say, Mr. Makopo, with what you just had, what are some of this? Or rather, let me put it like this. When you study the landscape of the business, the township economy, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that you find that when you hear such sentiments and stories coming in from Ms. Beatrice, you feel that people of Komakasana, they should be able to break them?
I think number one, there's this thing, most businesses, hence really most of them, they are so informal. Most of them are still survivalist businesses. It's just businesses dealing or necessity businesses, as opposed to just being the businesses dealing or building a legacy that can actually outlive you. Right now, Mr. Madisa, without mentioning a lot, I came with my daughter here. She's listening like 10-15 years into the future. She's listening to someone who will have been in business for maybe for 10 years, and I always encourage her, or business is the only way to go. So as much as Nike run a business and somehow I would like her to venture into business, the most important thing that we don't do, Mr. Madisa, we don't build businesses still or they will outlive us. You only do it now, and then after, it's a business that another generation won't be able to inherit.
Sure.
So I came with my princess here to say, you know what, listen into like 20 years into your future to make sure whenever I hand the baton, now she's able to pick it up. So the misconception businesses I'm only doing this for the survival of my family. As long as but you don't build that at the back of your mind with this thing, I'm building a business that will outlive me.
Sure.
Something, a legacy that I will leave behind.
Speaking of legacy, I catch you off there. I get to Miss Beatrice and we'll close it off there. Speaking of legacy, and you mentioned the times 3, I think, ever since we started this conversation. What's looking 5 years ahead? What is that particular legacy that you want your company to carry, especially given the context that it comes from Kumakasa? Where do you see the company in 5 years' time?
2 years' time.
Sure, proper stuff. Yeah.
In 2 years' time, I see Songz Events giving and sharing and empowering others. Not only focusing on whether it's male or female, but those who are willing to learn and expand the skill. I was saying to my daughter the other day that based on the education system that we currently have now in South Africa, I think it's best now that we actually should have a school for business, specifically for business, whereby you study for whatever type of business that you would want to have, so that you don't depend on having umlungu that you need to report to. So meaning to have that, it has to be an empire in a way, whereby we empower other people, then we bring our business. It's you know how funeral parlors grow. Yes, so it should be something that bears fruit like that. I'm busy checking my phone here with a note that I got a message this morning that said
I think it's a very important thing, beautiful thing to inculcate this entrepreneurial mindset from the young age that she's talking about.
Yes, sure. Whereby we're saying take care of the seed so that you can enjoy the fruits. So you cannot just plant a seed and leave it there to run dry. You need to nurture it. How are you nurturing it? By making sure you upskill yourself. You like with me, I didn't go to school for events, but with the skill and the passion that I had with me, knowing you are creative, you can do this. Why is it so difficult for others to say, because this, I can still make it in life?
Sure.
And
close it off, 30 seconds. Where can people get you?
Okay, where people can get me on social media, on Instagram, it's Songz with a Z, Songz Events Décor, just one word, on Instagram, and on Facebook it's Songz Events and Décor, and on TikTok it's Songz Events and Décor, and my business line is 082-643-8323.
Repeat that once again.
The business line is 082-643-8323. They can text, call, even WhatsApp. Sure.
Mr. Makopo, we don't have closing sentiments, running flat out of time. I want to thank you so much for making time to speak with us this evening, even though you drove all the way. Khan and Mpumalanga, you must definitely been tired. Miss Polelo, thank you so much. Maina, thank you so much for that particular valuable insights, and thank you so much for saying Z. Z.
Okay, Z.
It's Z.
There's
no such thing as Z.
Can I get songs with Z?
No, no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this particular conversation. We're closing up. Ladies and gentlemen, 30 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's do this and we are out of this building.
That wraps up today's edition of Kasi Entrepreneur on the Groundbreakers. A big shout out to our visionary sponsor, Makopo.com, your home of premium, intelligent appliance designed for comfort, class, and convenience. The Groundbreakers, Mondays to Thursdays, 7 to 9 p.m. on TUT